Okay, so today we are going to discuss now the types of assessment. If assessment has purpose, we have to pair it with the types of assessment. It will be easier for you to understand the types of assessment if you have watched the video about the purposes of assessment. So I am requiring everybody who will be watching this video to first watch the video here in Edbook Central about the purpose of assessment, because these two topics are interrelated. So there are three types of assessment. We call them assessment as learning, assessment for learning, and assessment of learning. So for you to easily understand it, look carefully with the A, F, and O. Arrange it alphabetically first so that it will be easy for you to understand. Okay? Now, I am going to mark this three with mnemonics so that it will be easier for you to understand. Mark as before. Mark for as during, and mark off as after. These are assessment as learning, likened as assessment before instruction, while assessment for learning is assessment during instruction, and assessment of learning is after instruction. So technically speaking, since assessment for learning is during instruction, this is formative assessment. While assessment for learning, kaya masabi ko kanina, the subject assessment of learning is not called assessment as learning, assessment for learning, but it is called assessment of learning because all the topics here are dealing with summative assessment. So meaning, assessment of learning, which is given after instruction, is summative assessment or summative evaluation. But let me clarify that with regards to assessment as learning, which is said to be before, it's not all the time before. And we don't technically liken it as diagnostic assessment. Hindi siya talaga diagnostic assessment. I-define natin kung anong assessment as learning. Ang assessment as learning, it's a personal assessment of every student. It's a reflective form of assessment that the student has the ability to monitor their own learning experience and know their own standing so that they could be able to cope up with the demands of every lesson kasi alam nila kung saan sila nakastand. So minsan, sinasabi nila that this is an assessment before learning. Kaya siya nandun. Kasi ang isang estudyante who will be reflecting about his own learning experience should know first his own weaknesses. So dapat i-diagnose na niya yung weakness niya about dun sa lesson na ituturo ng teacher. The reason why our teachers are giving syllabus topics beforehand so that the students could evaluate the lesson and could reflect in their own learning progress. So that if there are prerequisite knowledge which they do not know about the lesson to come, they may ask the teacher. Yun yung assessment as learning. Okay? It's a self-evaluation of every student. Kung ito ay curriculum, it's the self-evaluation of the school about their own curriculum. Diba nagkakaroon ng, if your teachers will have taught you during the previous lessons na nagkakaroon sa curriculum development na tinatawag na curriculum audit and curriculum evaluation ng school, yun ay part ng assessment as learning. Tinitignan, nagre-reflect yung mismong school dun sa progress ng curriculum niya. So, anong assessment as learning? It's your own reflective evaluation about your own learning experiences, where you stand, what are the knowledge that you still do not know, which are required to the lesson, what are your strengths, what are your potential. Because assessment of learning will result to higher evaluation if students are really practicing assessment as learning. of course, teachers has to also practice assessment as learning. Dapat sila din. Ina-assess nila yung learning progress, ay yung teaching progress nila, and kung ano yung mga assessment na dapat nilang ibigay sa mga estudyante. They should assess reflectively so that they will be able to know when to give diagnostic test, when to give formative test, and when to give summative test. So, ulitin natin ha, tignan yung mabuti. It's easy to understand. May mnemonics tayo. As, for, of. For is formative. Of is summative. Before, during, after. So, it's alphabetically arranged. A, F, O, and then before, during, after. Okay? Again, I'm clarifying this, that this before can become during and can become after also. Okay? Okay? But still, we run with her here, this as the first one, because siya lang naman yung may before. So, mas magiging madali ang mnemonics ninyo na before, during, after, kapag ganyan ang alignment. Even in the board exam, it will be easier for you to check out kasi meron kang mnemonics. Okay? So, thank you very much. I hope you understand our topic. Thank you.